Hey everyone, this is Rob,
And Michelle.
and welcome to Bunebape, your weekly podcast and everything you need to know about old school RuneScape. All right, so this week up on the docket, we, of course, as always, are going to be starting off with a little bit of updates from ourselves and what we have going on.
Yes.
And then we'll be going right into the Tithe Farm and Poll 79 updates. There's been a few more added to the game. Luckily, some of the more looked forward to ones,
AKA Tithe Farm.
aka Tithe Farm. And then, of course, we have another blog, which is actually a little more exciting because it's a look into the actual mechanics of the new sailing skill.
Yeah.
So this is going to be the navigation mechanics that they go over. There's an entire video and everything like that, but we'll be summarizing it. So hopefully you'll have a better idea of what to look forward to in the new skill. And then, of course, as always, we'll be ending off with a bit of a Q&A. So
Yeah.
if you yourself want to ask us any questions, whether they're game-related, other game-related, or real-life related, feel free to reach out to us to any of our socials that we'll have linked below or at the end of the video. Probably the best place is going to be in our questions section, specifically in our Discord.
Our Discord, yeah.
But before we get into any of that, of course, Michelle, how's it going?
It's going really well. I've actually done a lot this week.
Nice.
Yeah. So last week, I think I got 92 cooking. I'm now 99 cooking. Like, what?
Wow.
Come on. It was really cool.
It's almost as if it's a really fast skill to train.
You're not 99, so don't even say anything.
I didn't say anything.
You just said you had an attitude.
I mean,
Putting me down like always, isn't he?
is it right or wrong that it's a really fast skill to train?
Brother, let me tell you.
So, kind of just stating facts.
But yeah, it was really cool. I did a little max party. I dressed as a shrimp, which means I just wore a lot of pink in a cape that had pink with darker pink in the middle.
How does it feel to cosplay yourself in a game?
I was thinking like I look more like a shrimp in real life than I did in game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am very pink. I was also talking about I look like Patrick Star.
Yeah,
Honestly, accurate.
Patar.
Patar. But yeah, I'm super excited about that. Made a little short of it. Short got like 20 views, killing it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's below average.
Wait, does that mean I'm SpongeGar or am I?
You're SpongeGar.
Am I Squidwar?
You're not Squidwar.
Okay.
Honestly, you give off Squidward vibes sometimes, but I feel like you know SpongeGar better.
Yeah.
So I think you're SpongeBob.
I feel like SpongeGar secretly has some like really dark stuff. That's why he's always happy.
Oh God, are you trying to relate to him in an emo way right now?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh no. Okay. Tell us how you feel.
No, that's not what SpongeGar would do.
Shut up. Anyway, yes, I got 99 cooking. I'm super excited about that. We also saw some purples this week in TOA. We got
35 rings.
no, we got a fang, which was an 11 mil split, and then we got a back to back with a ring, which was 1.8 because I stay splitting those.
Yeah.
And then we actually got a third back to back, another fang, another 11 mil.
Another ring.
At least it wasn't like 3 rings, which
4 rings.
we got
back
4
to back.
rings before. That was brutal. They were worth more at the time, at least. They
That's
were
how it
6 mil
goes?
in.
Wow.
Yeah, but we got a back 3 back. Very exciting stuff. Those are the only purples I saw this week. But like I said, I've been distracted by cooking. And also I was doing some combat achievements this week, which is kind of distracting.
Yeah, with the new point system, right?
New point system is so good, man. Let me tell you. I did some entry top ones, which were cool because those were pretty quick, going with people who already know top very well. And then I did the butt damage master one for TOA, which was very frustrating. That one, you can't take any gear that is tier 75 or above. And it's just we did it in a duo the first 2 attempts, and we couldn't even pass 2 rooms. Doing it in 4 people was better, but it's still so slow. You are not hitting very hard. It took 50 minutes to finish a 300.
What? Yeah, does it have to be a 300?
Yeah, it has to be expert.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know. I thought it could be a 150, so I was like, that's easy. And then I was
Yeah.
like, oh, man. Yeah, so everything took just way longer to kill, but it's cool. We got it done.
I feel like all the Iron Men are laughing at you in Rune Crossbow.
You know what? I could bring some good stuff, but you can't even bring a Trident of the Swamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's brutal.
I mean, all the Iron Men would have
I had-
Ivans or something.
I brought a Thamrin Scepter
Why would you bring a Thamron Scepter?
because that's actually the best in slot option that Wiki even recommends
Oh,
for this
okay.
combat achievement. And I brought a Bone Dagger.
Wouldn't is that better? I feel like Fire Blast with an I or
Maybe Ivan's a 75.
yeah. No, it's not. Maybe like an Iban's with a I mean, you're probably right because you looked it up, obviously. But my immediate go-to would be like an Ivan's with
So
a book of fire.
the wiki, it doesn't do what wiki normally does, where they say like the next best option. So I don't know if Ivan's is 75. I just copied them exactly on wiki.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they recommended a Thammer and Scepter, which I've never used in my life.
Well, yeah, because it's a
Wielding thing, right?
PKing weapon.
Yeah.
Well, it's supposedly a PK weapon. No one uses it, but yeah.
I used it.
Wow.
But I did that. Had to use like a hosta as my weapon and stuff. It was weird. Like I said, I brought a bone dagger, which I've never used.
What level's the Hosta? 70?
I think it might be 70. I was borrowing it from someone though. They just
Yeah.
gave it to me because it was on the wiki.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. It felt very successful after we finished. I would recommend doing that in like a group of 3 or 4, because it's not the hardest Master Combat achievement. It just takes a lot of time, and you have to understand the mechanics of what's going on. Because it's basically just surviving long enough to keep hitting boss because your hits are so lousy.
Yeah.
I never say lousy, but it felt really appropriate there.
Yeah, so it's just not dying.
Yeah, it's just not dying because it takes forever. Like, we were on the final row of wardens for so long. It was just 2 of us because 2 people ended up dying, like, at wardens.
Yeah.
And it just felt like we were there forever. Like, it was at, like, 50 hit points, and we'd hit and be, like, 3. And I'm like,
to
oh
be
my
fair, it'd be a
God.
lot faster if they weren't all dead.
True.
You're just doing half as much damage.
Yeah, but whenever it gets down to 1 row especially, and all the boulders are falling, it's way easier to just have 2 people there only. It's
Yeah.
really, someone always dies, I feel like. The boulders get so stressful in the first row.
Yeah, you've gotten, or at least the one kill I saw, you got better at not clicking randomly.
I always click underneath my own boulders.
Yeah,
I
you
move
do.
and then I panic and I move back and then right as the boulder falls. It's
Yeah.
so annoying.
Like you try to
I'm trying not to panic
you
click.
try to click within like the same 2 ticks, and it's like you have to wait like 6 ticks for
Yeah.
the boulder to fall.
I try to do it really quickly and I just get smacked by my own boulders. That's
Yeah.
happened like several times in a row. I think that
Oh.
happened when I was the only one left before. So it was like,
It's happened a lot. You do it a lot.
it was really bad that time though because it was
Yeah,
like,
you don't click to move.
I was the only
you click,
one.
You click to be moving. You don't click to move your character.
it's really unfortunate. But yeah, we got it done. I'm excited about that. I did a couple other combat achievements like the killing Gloff, whatever,
Glow?
speed run,
Yeah, I think some people call them glow.
glow.
Yeah, it's weird.
That one actually broke RuneLight, completely froze it. I thought my stream froze. RuneLight was frozen for like 4 minutes before I finally just like closed it. Because I couldn't even close it normally to go to Task Manager. It was so weird. But I ended up getting that. And because I finished that one, and because I've done some Master and a couple Grandmaster, I finished my Elite tier.
Nice.
Well, I did enough tasks to get the rewards for Elite tier, I should say, because I'm not even close to actually finishing Elite tier.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I have a Jad helm now.
that's cool.
I didn't even tell you about it because I'm so excited.
Oh, okay.
I was
Wait,
waiting
We're
because
just keeping secrets now.
Shut up. I was waiting because I always text him everything that's happening on stream, and I was like, let me have one thing to tell you. That I have a Jad helm.
Wow, cool.
It kind of feels fake because I didn't actually finish Elite,
Yeah.
but I've done a lot of Master and Grandmaster, so I'm like, it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay.
So for anyone out there wondering, it is easier than ever before to
Mm-hmm.
get your combat achievements done.
Yeah, because it's not even like the Masters are definitely harder. It's just I'm so lazy and there's so many different variety of bosses that I really
There's-
don't want to do.
There's some master or even
Some master aren't as bad.
Some master or grandmaster are a lot easier than you would think.
Some of them are pretty cool because it's just like get a certain amount of KC here.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
And they're
easy.
worth a lot of points. Some of them are just to do a KC faster, which if you're going to be camping a boss anyways, you might as well try.
Yeah, Gluff I had to kill like 3 times.
Yeah, like if you're killing Hespora, you might as well try to kill him as fast as possible.
That was so exciting when I got that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do try to kill bosses as fast as I can. And yeah, it was just really exciting. I'm really happy to have it done. And I was like, wow, okay, how far are we went from Master? 600 points.
Yeah, it's a
I
lot.
was like, never mind. I guess I will try to finish the Elite sometime.
Yeah, I think at that point you have to have pretty much all the elites done. And
Definitely.
Then working on masters and grandmasters.
Yeah, there's no way I'm going to be able to finish that without finishing Elite, which I want to work on. It's just, it's like there's so much variety that I feel like I can't, you know?
Well, yeah.
I can't commit to one boss.
Yeah, because remember when we went over it, I think it's master and elite have the two. They have the same amount, but they have the 2 highest amount of tasks.
Yeah,
in
they
each
have
of
a
them.
huge amount of tasks.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I still have like 40 left for Elite.
yeah.
I just happened to have like a decent amount done for Master, so it worked out.
There's a lot each. I think it's like 100, like over 100 each.
Yeah,
So
I'm pretty sure I have like maybe like 60 of the Elite done. Something, I don't know, something like that. But I'm super excited about it regardless. I'm glad about the update. I feel a little bit like I have like imposter syndrome because I'm wearing this helmet, but I haven't done them all.
yeah,
But I'm like, I know technically I've earned it because I've done the other stuff. I've gotten the points. And this is just how the update works. This is how the game is now. I don't need to be like paranoid about people being elitist. And if they are, that's annoying.
No, it's literally impossible.
Yeah, well, you know people are like that. They'll be like, you didn't finish them all.
Yeah, it's like literally impossible. But yeah, it'd be cool to get the Verzik helm.
That's what I was thinking. That's why I was like, ooh, how close am I to the next one?
Not very.
Not very at all.
Yeah, maybe eventually.
Yeah, I mean, I am kind of learning more stuff that I didn't know before. I need to do Serb. I have so many Serb tasks, even just for Elite, but I only have like 5 Serb, Casey.
Cerberus?
Cerberus? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It'll be, well, luckily you have enough money now for the...
Spectral.
Is it Spectral that you need?
I think it's Spectral that you need.
Okay.
You need a special shield.
I thought it was the Elysian, but...
No, not Elysian.
Okay.
God, no. I'm definitely going to ask someone to borrow too, because I don't want to get merged.
Yeah.
I wasted a lot of money, like, for scaling stuff. I also bought a bunch of bars to try and work on smithing. So I only have like 370 mil cash stack right now. So I also want to borrow, because I know I'll get merged.
Wow.
Yeah. How's the saving for a shadow going?
Okay.
Not well.
Asking yourself questions.
Yeah, I am.
That's cool.
But yeah, it was super cool. I'm very, very excited about it. Next week, also on Friday, I'll say it again next week, I'm going to do another bingo event. This one is going to be held by Strawberry. She's another RuneScape streamer, and she's kind of making a comeback to streaming for OSRS. So she's doing a bingo event
What
for
day
it.
is this?
This is on May 26th through June 4th.
Okay.
I have a very stacked team. I have me, Sacred Relic, who's gone 8 shadows. Just insane. They're the one that got a shadow split from. Perky Porker, who is another streamer. Subscription, Fritz, and then, yeah, myself. All of them are huge gamers. I'm very, very exciting.
Except for who?
Except for me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why'd you say that?
I'm the weakest link.
I gave you an opportunity. You could have just said none.
Oh, except for none. Our name is the Bunebapes. Like, I wasn't going to name it a Bunebape thing, but then they all kept suggesting ideas, and one of them was like, Boone's backpack or something. And I was like, oh, because you all carried me? And they're like, no, because you carry us. And I'm like, I don't think I've ever carried you guys before.
Wow.
I'm like, you guys have all carried me. I don't think I've ever... I'm not as good. They're all like super, super gamers. So I'm excited. And it's my first real bingo, because the ones I did before, like I said, was technically a different game. I just kept calling it bingo because I'm lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for it. I think it's going to be fun. I wanted Strawberry to join our team, but she's a hot commodity, so she got swiped up real quick, snatched up.
Swiper, no swiping.
Swiper, no swiping, but they stole Strawberry from me.
Wow.
It's okay. But yeah, been doing that. I also, last week played a little bit of Outlast 2 on stream again. That game is still terrifying. And I was thinking I might play a little bit again on Friday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think whenever I do play scary games, I mean, it was already a thing that whenever I do it, I feel like I always do on Friday nights. Because that's the night I could stay up the latest.
Friday Night at Freddy's, dude.
I want to play that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never played before. I heard it's good. I heard
Yeah.
that there's like a new one coming out or something.
There's a bunch of them.
Oh, yeah. I just saw stuff for it today on Twitter.
Yeah.
But yeah, what have you been up to?
I have not been up too much.
Well, you've been doing the other game stuff.
Yeah, I played a little bit of Guardians of the Rift, but I didn't get a level or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much all I did in RuneScape, though. Besides that, I played a good bit of WoW.
Wowzers.
Yeah, I got to level 70, and then I'm already... This means nothing to anyone,
I'm
so
sure
I got a bunch of levels.
I feel like a lot of people play WoW.
Yeah,
Just do a little rundown on stuff real quick to impress people that know what you're talking about.
No, but
Hater.
I'll say like 3 things I did is
Okay.
I got to level 70, which was kind of cool. That was my first level 70 this expansion. And then I also got to item level 416, which is
Nice.
not crazy high. I think the max is like 435 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also got like my like mythic plus score to like 1200, which is not
It's kind of like total level.
No, it's like it really just is a marker for how much or how experienced you are in the dungeons
Okay.
that people are running.
Yeah.
So like the closer you are to 2000, the more people are like will be willing to take you on like higher, more difficult level ones.
Yeah. It's like them seeing your levels and being like, oh, they're a noob.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you had like
Everything he says for WoW, I try to compare to RuneScape to make sense to me.
yeah, if you had like the best gear in the game, but like a 0 Mythic Plus score, that'd be really weird.
Yeah.
Like people would be like, why is this? Is it because you suck at Mythic Plus, so they might not take you?
True. Okay.
Yeah. But I guess that's probably the only real thing.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Just played a little bit of that for the weekend, but back to not playing as much. So
To study.
yeah,
Yeah. Meh.
unfortunate. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I didn't really play too much else. I actually kind of want to play more RuneScape though, so hopefully I have more updates for everyone next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing is now that I'm not working my other job, I've been trying to make shorts more. I've been trying to have like at least 5 a week. So
Yeah,
I'm
like
excited about
she
playing
said,
it.
her other short had 20 views, so
Okay.
please go check it out. But yeah, she
Our
has
YouTube is
been
Bunebape.
she has been making more content recently, and
Yeah.
hopefully there will be videos soon as well. so.
Hopefully. I have like a whole little script written out, but I don't have anything recorded.
Oh well. Anyways, we can go into the update for this week, which is actually pretty exciting. I think it's something a lot
I'm
of people
very
have been
excited
looking
about it,
forward
actually.
to for some time. So we have the Tithe Farm updates and more Pull 79. So this came out on May 17th, so actually today, the day of recording, but it'll be just a couple days past since everyone else got it.
Mhm.
So for Tithe Farm, it's funny because in this picture, they have a picture of the new UI with the new stuff you can buy, and whoever did this is quite a little trickster because they have 420 points.
Do they?
Couldn't put any other points.
Sneaky. They could put 420,069.
Wow. But either way, they have the great news for fellow farmers. So the long-awaited Pull 79 changes to our favorite farming minigame have finally arrived. Here's what's changing this week. Bye-bye griefing. Tithe Farm is now instanced and solo only.
Which you're happy about.
I am very happy about.
I'm less than happy about because I kind of like seeing people there because it gets so lonely.
Yeah. Well,
It's bittersweet.
usually I'm either really focused, so I'm not even paying attention to them, or not focused at all, so I'm also not paying attention to them.
Yeah. I mean, the next point does make it more worthwhile, though. It makes the instance all worth it in the end.
Yeah, so it says you may now earn points more frequently, and you can bring more seeds into harvest at a time, so you can reap the rewards of your hard work faster. I was really close to saying of your yard work faster,
I mean,
which
it is
also
your yard
would
work.
make sense. For every 3 plants you turn in, you'll be awarded 1 point. For every 100 plants you turn in, you'll be awarded an additional 2 points. If that wasn't enough, you can now bring in up to 10,000 seeds, so you can keep farming for longer.
Nice.
You can literally, actually probably do a 34 to like 200 mil, like locked
don't know.
Iron Man or something.
I could see something locked. I don't know. I wonder how far it would actually take you.
10,000 seeds. That's
I don't
so
know.
much experience.
100 seeds per trip. That's only 1,000.
100 seeds per
Wait,
trip.
math.
Yeah, I was like, what?
What's 10,000 divided by 100?
It's 1,000.
Yeah, that's only 1,000 total turn-ins.
Wait.
Yeah. Every 100 you turn them in. 10,000 seeds is 100 per trip.
Math with Bunebape.
Math with Bunebape.
Either way, it's not that. It's
not
a lot
200
of
mil.
it's a lot of experience, but yeah, it's probably not 200 mil. I guess because we can't make
I
jokes
really
anymore.
had to come in and say that. Well, technically.
Yeah, you're like one of those people. Well, actually, that's like not even. I mean, maybe it's like 120 mil, but it's like not even close to 200 mil. You sound really dumb.
Okay, shut
It's
up.
like, all right, well,
I'm always putting you down.
at least whoever's doing this probably has Tangle Root. So
Oh my god, there was actually no need.
we've doubled the amount of Beloga.
Beloga.
Like, how do you
Baloney.
say these? How do you say these? Fake
I say
words?
Beloga.
Beloga blessings received when purchasing them from the Farmer Groliker's reward shop.
Speaking of made up words, I always read that as gristler. Or
Uh,
grickler.
I think it's Grickler.
Grickler.
Yeah.
I love these names.
Who makes up these names?
Oh my god, it's so good.
Either way, they added herb boxes to Farmer Grickler's reward shop. We're just gonna say the farmer. Added herb boxes to the farmer's reward shop. They're also available for iron players. The
Huge for
cost-
you.
Yeah, for any iron, of course. The cost of herb boxes is set at 30 points. However, we value your opinion and are open to making adjustments based on constructive feedback. So it seems like you just get more points, and you can get. They doubled the amount of Beloga's blessings. I actually don't know what that is. You know what that is?
I think it might have something to do with does that have something to do with grape seeds?
Oh yeah, it is.
Like it protects them or something like
yeah,
that?
it is. It is for grape seeds. I've never planted grapes, so that makes sense.
Same.
Either way, and also they added the herb boxes. So really, 3 main changes. You get more points for the time spent there, which is nice. So that just means more rewards, and also you do get more experience.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure you do get
because
more
you don't
experience.
have, even if they don't do it necessarily, you get more from not having to run out of the room every trip to go and get more seeds.
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
actually such a waste. You could only before do 100 seeds at a time for some reason.
Yeah, and then you had to leave, go get more seeds, and then go back, and also
Yeah, and hope no one took your spot.
and then get crashed because it would put you in a new instance every time that you entered. So you
Yeah.
could like have an empty instance, leave, come back, someone's in there.
I didn't know it worked like that. That's funny.
Yeah, so now you get your very own instance, which is also really nice. So actually, it's even more XP, so you can do the 25 per run method
Oh yeah, I
without
still can't
anyone
do
crashing
that.
you.
I'm not fast enough.
Yeah, it is a near tick perfect method, but with no people there, it is much more reliable.
Definitely. The only way now.
Yeah. And so now, for anyone wondering, if you didn't know what any of the rewards were before, I guess we'll just go over them real quick. This is where you can get the farmer's outfit, which will give you the standard 2.5% increase XP for any time you do farming stuff. It'll give you the auto weed, so you don't have to ever use your what?
I still don't have this. 66 mil farming, I still don't have this.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the update, to be fair. I think I'm going to get this soon.
Yeah, so the auto weed is 50 points, and this will make it so you never have to use a rake on any of your stuff ever
Never
again.
rake again.
Never rake again. And there's
Side note, that's a really good title name. Never rake again, future me.
never rake again. And we also have the herb sack if you don't want to get it from your Slayer Master for 250 points, as well as the seed box, which
I still don't have that. I want it.
I don't regret getting it, but it's much less useful than I had anticipated.
I feel like it'd be nice for Slayer.
It can only hold 6 seeds.
Yeah, I mean, you could just pick up the only expensive ones.
I guess it saves you 6 seed slots, but whenever I use it for like thieving master farmers,
Oh,
it saves
I mean-
so much less room than you'd anticipate.
I was thinking for like Dagonauts, just picking up seeds that you like.
Yeah, like whenever I'm thieving master farmers, I still run out of
Yeah,
space.
because you get like every kind of seed in the game.
And especially because like you want to bring like some kind of food or something so you don't die thieving. But I digress. So Gricklers can,
The farmers can.
the farmers can. That's what they should change the name to. Send in feedback. Farmers can. This is by far and away my favorite purchase from him.
Wait, you have it?
Oh yeah, this is one of the first things I bought.
Honestly, I need to go and green log Tithe Farm sometime.
Yeah, it is.
I don't have this seed box or
amazing.
auto weed.
Yeah, you never even come close to running out of water. Whenever you do a full entire run of 100 seeds, you won't even come close.
True. And sometimes I do like the weird iron way where I have a lot of seeds and I'll make my own saplings and then I'll have like 8 cans full of water and then halfway through I'm like, time to go refill my water cans.
Yeah, no, this is definitely the way. Also, for anyone not keen on spending money, there's also the compost and the super compost. No ultra compost, so you're still gonna have to make that yourself.
And the grape seed.
And the grape seed. And then there is 20 of what is this?
Beloga's blessing.
Is
That's what it looks like.
Is
They're
it?
little scrolls, yeah.
But yeah, we actually just looked up Beloga's blessings, and they're actually really useful. I've never used one. Michelle's never used one, but
So we misunderstood a little bit what they do.
yeah, so they're actually really, really useful. From what I understand, you can use them while farming grapes, which are usually not very profitable, just outside of the actual Tithe Farm itself. I'm pretty sure that's where you can plant
Yeah,
them.
the winery or whatever.
Yeah, I've never planted them because I mean, usually you just buy them from the chest under Lumbridge.
Oh.
Yeah, you can
Oh.
just buy grapes there. So I would usually, if I ever need them for cooking or whatever, I just use that. But I guess what the blessings allow you to do is turn your grape harvest into
Zamrock grapes.
Zamrock grapes.
And they're worth more.
Yeah, so you can make Zammy wines, of course, which are really useful for herb stuff, making potions or whatever.
Yeah.
And also apparently they sell for like
1,000 more.
yeah,
Over
like-
1,000 more.
yeah, 1,600 more gold each instead of the
Per
standard
grape.
instead of the standard 16.
Yeah.
So quite a bit more.
Actually, kind of nuts.
Yeah, so that's really, really nice. Now, we've doubled the amount of Beloga's blessings you receive when purchasing them.
Nice.
So that's really, really cool. Yeah, so those are, and also, of course, we can't forget the last thing, the brand new thing they added, which
Herb
is the herb boxes.
Huge.
If you've ever done, what's the other thing? Nightmare Zone. If you've ever done Nightmare Zone, you know about this. But for a lot of people, they don't know Ironmans cannot buy herb boxes from the Nightmare
Stupid.
Zone.
It doesn't make sense Irons could buy it here, but not the Nightmare Zone.
Yeah.
They better change Nightmare Zone and make it.
I mean, Nightmare
The
Zone
same.
is pretty outdated content. I doubt they'll ever update it, but Yeah, I don't know.
I'm
Either
glad you
way,
can finally get them at least.
I'm glad you can get it now. This will be a nice source of early renars, especially because
Totally.
that could be annoying.
Trying to grind them.
I think I did spend like 5 or 6 hours farming chaos druids just for renars and stuff like
Yeah,
that
you need
early
like one
on.
for a quest, I think, right? The fairy quest, you might need it.
I don't know. I know I would need it, so that's why I tried to get as many as I could. But
Mm-hmm.
either way, that is all of the Tithe Farm stuff. So pretty exciting for a lot of people, including especially Iron Man, but also tons of people in the comments already shouting about their concerns for bots farming this.
Again, I don't care about bots. I just want to get auto weed easier. So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I mean, to be fair, it doesn't seem like Jagex cares about bots either. So
Sure, I should work for them.
there is much more important things being botted right now than
Tithe Farm.
Tithe Farm.
But these herb boxes, Robert, they change everything.
I know they're like, wow, I'm gonna sell my 30 Renars and break the bank. But
Break
I
the
mean,
economy.
potentially they could. This is an easy thing to bot. It is instanced, so no one can report them, and also it's extremely easy to bot. So
Robert's basically advertising to go bot there.
I mean, there's probably much better. If this is all your bot can do, then you probably need to upgrade. But I'm
Fair.
pretty sure bots are pretty cheap nowadays.
Yeah.
This is pretty exciting. Hopefully, it's not being botted too much, and I look forward to it. Even though I've
Same.
already pretty much completed Tithe Farm as much as I would want to on my
Apparently, I am not close, so I can do a lot of this.
iron. Yeah.
But anyway, moving on to rest of Poll 79. So they also do go ahead and say, for an update to this post, you can expect the final 2 rounds of Poll 79 changes to roll out in late May and late June after the Bounty Hunter update next week.
Kind of wild. We talked about this last
week,
episode.
yeah, they're taking a long time for this poll.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be late May and early June, but they said late May and late June.
Yep. There's
Which
just going to be
is-
gaps in the middle for Bounty Hunter only.
That's late.
Yep.
That's instead of 4 to 6 weeks, that's double.
That's like 50 weeks.
Yeah.
They do say though that things can always change, but we'll do the best we can to keep you up to date. Let us know which of the remaining changes you want most using the traditional insert content here when format. Honestly, solid. That's how I
I
ask for
honestly
stuff.
had to read that like 5 times when it first came out because I thought because there are errors whenever they do first come out.
Oh, you thought that they just messed it up?
Yeah, I thought they had planned on putting something there and didn't. But
No, it's like how people were saying Tithe Farm win.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So that makes a lot more sense because there are stuff that like people like, oh, this is like written wrong, and they have to go back and actually update
Yeah.
the blog.
This one's legitimate, and
Yeah.
it makes sense. That's like half my stream names are like Purple Win, Tango Root Win.
True.
But anyway, let's take a look at the other Poll 79 changes coming your way this week. Guerrilla Warfare. Say goodbye to the frustration and guessing when torture and demonic guerrillas change attack styles because now there's a clear audio indicator. You'll know exactly when the switch occurs because the gorilla will let out a bone-chilling scream accompanied by a menacing sound effect. Please note that this isn't the case for real-life gorillas. I mean, how can we confirm that?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't gone over and started killing tortured real life gorillas.
Oh, that's sad. If they're being tortured, why would you want to?
Well, these are tortured and demonic. They're not regular gorillas.
Oof, why are we killing the tortured ones? That's pretty messed
Put
up.
them out of their misery, I guess. I don't know.
In a really gory way.
Yeah.
Additionally, to prevent the annoyance of encountered partially killed gorillas left behind by their players, demonic and tortured will now reset after a certain period of time without active combat. I'm actually very excited for this because I was doing tortured for Zenite during the 15 cards event the other month, and I was like doing it while watching shows, and I kept like losing track of which count I was on to see like when they're gonna switch changes. So I'm glad there's gonna be a sound effect.
Yeah, I'm also like kind of concerned because they're saying like it was like a screeching sound. I just
I
imagine.
hope it's not the Armadillo.
Yeah, I was imagining the Armadillo spec.
I hate it. It's like
Yeah.
worse.
Wow.
Worse than that.
That was pretty good.
That was a really bad impression.
Also, it's funny that we were just talking about bots, and I've seen the number of posts for people being frustrated by the number of bots at Demonic Gorillas go up substantially.
I can't take any post about complaining about bots seriously because of how many times people have assumed that I'm a bot because I don't want to talk to them.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, yeah. I
You don't reply to someone and they're like, oh, there's another bot. And I'm like, I was making food. Like, I was AFK.
Yeah, some people are like complaining. They're like, "Oh, I can't kill demonic gorillas because there's too many people there, even in like 2,000 plus worlds." And I'm like, I don't know. I don't really think that's actually a problem. I mean, I haven't been there too much recently.
Whenever I
but-
went, there's a lot of people. I was having to hop around.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's gonna be for at least a few days busier than normal too because of this update.
Yeah,
Because
maybe.
now everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, I'll go get my Zenite now. I've been waiting."
Oh, I mean, I guess so.
Yeah,
I think most Ironmen, if they need the Zenite, have already got it though.
yeah, but I mean, it's kind of like me with Tithe Farm. Like, I had already been thinking recently, like, I really want to get the auto weed, and then they announced this poll, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
So people who just last second decided to do this and are like, we wait.
Sure.
Moving on to noisier Hunliff. While we're on the topic of audio cues, we've also added some new ones to the Hunliff boss fight. The Nightmarish Beast will now growl in varying pitches, how musical, for a few cycles before changing its attack style. The pitch of the growl will indicate which attack style the Hunliff is switching to, which will let you keen-eared adventurers change your own tactics.
I wanted to just be like, "Roar, roar, roar."
Yeah,
Yeah, just make it like tons
you're
of
like, oh, it's
different.
gonna rain,
Yeah.
and then oh, it's gonna mage.
And then it makes like a crazy noise, and you're like, "Oh, I've never heard this before," and you get meleeed for
Yeah,
50.
it's like, whoa.
Wow. Hopefully not, or I'll never go there again.
Yeah, but yeah, again, I like it because I don't always count. I zone out, and I'm like, oh shoot, what number are we on again?
Yeah.
So I'll take it.
And your ears don't work too well, so now it's apparently easier to tell.
Fair. Next up is Scaly Blue Dragon Hides. So Scaly Blue Dragon Hides have been added as a new item drop from Baby Blue Dragons, 1 out of 100 chance, Adult Blue Dragons, 1 out of 50, Brittle Blue Dragons, 1 out of 33, and from Vorkath, 1 out of 10. So to clarify, this is a change explained in the Poll 79 blog. So I have that pulled up. And basically they said how they were making Cave Nightshade more not just like picking stuff up off the ground. They're trying to do the same for Blue Dragon scales for Herblore. So now you can get them from dragons as well, and that will make it easier to stock up on some anti-fire pots. So you can go ahead and cut any hide in your inventory, and it will process any others you have automatically. They'll be faster to click each one individually, and that's how you get your scales.
Yeah, so that's actually pretty big. So
Yeah.
because I know a lot of people will not
will-
pick up the hides.
Yeah, and no one will pick up the scales either, because like, who wants to walk around and just pick up scales? I
Well,
mean, they
you have to,
but they don't want to.
The thing
I'm
is,
sure.
like, people will like not use the blue dragon hide at all.
Yeah, now there's a use.
Yeah. And now heading over to the C++ client changes. We had a ton of these last week, and apparently there is a few more.
Yeah.
So a new setting has been added to the settings menu, which allows you to turn off item prices on the ground overlay.
Which is funny. We were kind of talking about that last week. We were like, yeah, you'll probably be able to customize it. Apparently not.
Yeah, apparently now you can. So that's good, because I usually leave them off because I couldn't care less how much things are worth
Yeah,
usually.
I think it's only if you're bossing you really want it.
Yeah, and so we also have the loot tracker. Following the launch of this highly anticipated update, we're pleased to announce that we've ironed out a few bugs. The loot tracker will now correctly recognize and display the following: pest control rewards, including coins and commendation points, the Chaos Ellie pet, whether it follows you or hides in your inventory, barbarian assault gambling rewards, logs from Bruma roots. Note that both the source and the loot itself will now appear correctly. And finally, the herbs from the sprouting roots.
Nice.
We also have the XP tracker. Prior to last week's update, the XP tracker had a setting which allowed players to toggle it on or off. However, last week, this setting got removed. This meant that players who had the XP tracker turned off before the update couldn't turn it back on anymore. What a muddle. Luckily, we've sorted this out this week. And players who were stuck in the situation should now be able to find the relevant setting on their next login. So that's kind of a weird bug. It just got removed. And finally, we have the broadcast system. So a lot of people were complaining about this because some of you may seen strange behavior from the broadcast system following the engine changes launched in last week's update. We hope this gave you and your fellow clan members a good giggle. Rest assured, and the problem has been fixed. So apparently, like a lot of really weird things were coming up in the clan collection log, stuff like that.
Yeah. So I mean, this wasn't even just a C++ thing. We started. I don't know if I even told you this. I started using our clan again because someone asked. I ended up like just inviting a few people to it. I was raiding with Alfresco, one of our mods, and like I would get notified that they got a seed. And I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, it's messed up. So I'm glad that this is fixed.
Yeah,
because it wasn't really weird.
It wasn't everything. It was like really weird,
random stuff.
Niche things that were getting brought up into the clan chat. And also, like some achievements were doing it and also are still doing it. But I guess they might have fixed them.
Okay. I saw one that they said that you would, if you picked up like secondaries for making herbs at chambers, you'd get notified.
Yeah.
It'd be like, oh, they got an enchanted juice. It's like, okay.
Nice.
There are some other small changes. So references to clans in the Soul War minigame have been removed and replaced with a clear message stating that players must be in the same chat channel. They renamed the Soul Wars clan waiting area to the group waiting area. Activity high scores that previously had a minimum KC of 10 have been expanded, so the new minimum is 5. Players currently in the 5 to 9 range slot should find their scores are added gradually after some more gaming sessions. And this is actually the lowest they're going to go. We thought they were going to go to 0. They're only going to 5.
Wow,
you have to
so
get
you
5
have to
KC.
have 5, yeah.
Yeah, to be on the high scores.
I guess it makes sense to go down to 1.
Yeah, if it was at 0, then that would be like...
Well, 0 wouldn't. That would be everyone.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes more sense. But I thought it was cool. Finally, I could show for Nightmare with my 6 KC.
Finally. And we have another kind of a random change. I never really expected this.
Yeah,
but
it's coming next week.
So this is going to be the World Switcher changes for, like you said, next week. In next week's update, the World Switcher will receive new icons. We wanted to give you a heads up before these changes go live. For clarity, here is the current appearance, and they have pictures, and then the new updated proposed update appearance for the next week.
It is very subtle.
Very, very, very subtle.
I had to look at their explanation to understand what it was different.
Yeah, so for anyone wondering, the thing that caught my eye immediately is going to be the icons on the right of the actual world selector. So they are normally all currently stars of some kind, whether they be gold or silver. Now there are going to be gold and silver skulls, which are going to be really easy to identify the PvP worlds. There's also going to be other ones for
the quest speedrunning is a little clock thing. What's it called? Stopwatch.
Yeah, stopwatch.
Clock thing.
There's also FS for Fresh Start Worlds, and there's a bunch of other ones. Is
the B for beta.
Well, yeah, that's the beta symbol for the beta worlds.
Is that the symbol for beta? I was like, it's really fancy B.
No, yeah, that's actually literally beta.
It's funny.
And so there's a bunch of different symbols for all of the different kinds of worlds to make them, I guess, slightly easier to come across. And notice there's also a change to the colors. Some are even highlighter lime green. So now you can change it just based on color if that's what you prefer as well.
Color and symbol. We have 2 new ways to tell them apart, which is actually pretty nice.
Yeah.
I think that'll be a good one.
I agree. I would honestly really like it if they would sort. I don't know how they would do this.
They have too many worlds.
I wish you would be able to sort the world based on like what the world is like about, like mini games. Like I wish you could just sort through and like make it so it would have all of the mini games in a row.
I mean, you kind of can. You can go and like on Runelight, click activity, and then just like double click your world list, and it will go and like it groups together like Volcano, Wintertot, Wilderness. But it doesn't specify just mini games because, like I just said, like Wilderness PK is in here. Target worlds are in the same section.
Like, I wish you could just like have it so. And I don't like that it shows all of the worlds when you do that. I just want it to be like.
You want to be able to set a filter?
Sort it by like mini game, and it just shows like the 30 mini game worlds, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to have to like, whenever you look through it, there's so many.
There's a lot of very specific types of worlds in this game.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's just annoying. I wish you could filter it a little bit more.
Yeah, I could see that.
Either way, though, the stars have undergone subtle modifications and notable differences, including a skull symbol instead of a star for Deadman World, a clock symbol for speedrunning, and the introduction of a purple world marked with a beta, indicating the beta world, among others. The icons on the dark blue world represent no save game worlds, such as tournament beta worlds or special event worlds, while the green icon represents leagues, and the icon in the yellowish world is for fresh start worlds. Mm-hmm. While the new icons were primarily introduced for beta world types, we've also incorporated a few other world types as mentioned. We aim to convey their nature beyond just using colors. We plan to implement these updates to the World Switcher next week, but we'd like to hear your feedback first. Please let us know if there's any changes we can think about before we proceed with them.
Yeah. And we've also got another Crack the Clue 3 hint, which is never ending. No one will ever get it.
The hint
is too good.
It's related to the clue obtained by Narf. Oh, now...
Speaking of RuneScape names, they're silly. Narf.
Now I know what it's going to be.
Now it all makes sense. And this week, the PvP Arena is using max med loadouts and rank duels and tournaments.
There we go. So that is this week's update. pretty okay update.
I
Some
thought it was pretty
more
decent. Yeah, I'm excited for all the Tithe Farm.
Pole 79 stuff is pretty cool. Kind of disappointing in that, Pole 79 is taking several months instead of the hopeful
I
one
know.
month.
I was really hoping that this week we were going to get another poll announcement, but it seems like they're just getting distracted by Bounty Hunter, which,
Yeah.
like, I get why they want to focus more time on Bounty Hunter, but maybe they could have planned ahead because I don't like that they say, like, we'll do the polls every 4 to 6 weeks unless there's other big content coming out. Because I'm like, why didn't you plan ahead so the big content wouldn't get in the way?
Yeah, or
Yeah.
have two different
Teams
two
working
different
on
dev
it.
teams working on
That would
different
be even
things.
better, but I know that they probably won't hire new people.
Yeah. Surely that'll never happen.
Yeah. For a company with a lot of money, they seem understaffed.
Yeah. Either way, kind of cool for people that are interested in Tithe and stuff like that, and kind of not cool for other people, I guess.
Cool for me.
Yeah.
I like all these.
And that's going to be about it for this week's updates.
Yes, unless there's some more tomorrow. Pause.
Yeah. Could be potentially cool stuff tomorrow.
I can't wait to start out tomorrow's half of this episode by saying, so there was no more cool stuff.
Yeah. And there was no update.
Yeah, with my account or with RuneScape's news. So
Yeah, there is nothing to report back on. It is the next day, Thursday, the 18th. So,
yep.
Unfortunately, nothing else to go over besides the brand new and exciting sailing and navigation mechanic.
Nothing else to go over except for maybe the most exciting part of this week.
Yeah, so this is pretty big because obviously one of the big questions for a lot of people is how is sailing going to work?
Yep, and we got a little bit of an answer, potentially an idea at least.
Yeah, definitely an idea.
Yeah. So, today we're going to be talking about the first topic in our sailing refinement journey, navigational mechanics and sea scale. So we're kicking off refinement with the topic you said was most important to you, navigational mechanics. This will be a vital part of the new sailing skill, so it's critical that we get it right. After all, you'll be using these mechanics to train from level 1 all the way to level 99, so it's important that whichever base navigation method we choose feels natural and exciting, no matter how many times you use it.
Yeah, I feel like this is a little more important than previous times because they specifically said that you're going to gain experience just by sailing around.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So I don't
like
know.
if you gain agility by walking.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. Before we get into the details, it's worth zipping back to our initial refinement blog or our podcast episode a few weeks ago to talk about what the stages are mean for refinement. But pretty much the too long to read of that is that they are doing one step at a time. And right now they are only going to be talking about this.
Yeah.
We're not going to be covering XP rates. We're not going to be covering
No loot or
rewards,
anything like that.
Yeah. So like Robert said, you'll be gaining it while you go around. Maybe. That's not even confirmed.
Yeah, that's just what they said in the initial stages. Also, on
Yes.
top of that, if anyone remembers the old process where they were going through each of the skills with infographics, well, that's kind of how this is this time around. They partnered with Gentle Tractor again, which is another content creator, and they actually made a 8-panel slideshow with like graphics of what things might look like, as well as a full explanation of this process.
It's super cool. I'd recommend going and looking at it too, just for the designs.
Yeah, and they have all the refinement steps, which are going to be navigation and the sea, which we currently are on, like we said. And then there's also going to be core systems, gameplay loops. 3 is going to be rewards, 4 is going to be lore and integration, and 5 will be the final summary. So that's the process that we're going to be going through. So no rewards this time around or anything like that. This is strictly how you'll be going around the ocean.
Yes. So they start by saying, welcome to the first step of the refining the sailing skill, where we'll be covering the topics of navigation and the sea. This refinement process itself is being broken down into 4 stages, like Robert just said, and this is going to help keep things concise and avoid overwhelming anyone with too much information all in one go. While there will naturally be some overlap in each refinement topic, we want to stress that this post will just be focusing on the basic fundamentals of ships, how they could control, and how the wider ocean might interact with them. Most notably, it will not be looking, again, I repeat, at anything to do with XP gain, training methods, or gameplay content just yet. As you can see, those will be next on the list.
That being said, I feel like you could kind of glean how they'll like implement systems like that from looking at this.
You can guess, but I mean, you can't really guess the stages. I already saw one person on Twitter tweeting at like mods being like complaining about the XP rates of sailing, and people were like, they literally saying it, we're not going to talk about the XP rates. What do you mean?
Well, yeah, that person's clearly just unhinged, but I mean, you could like kind of get an idea of what would be part of the XP, like what would be part of training, I guess.
First up is board your ship. So to begin sailing, you'll need to board your ship from somewhere. This means heading to one of the many ports found around the world, or perhaps even a newly added one. Ports would be the primary access point to the sailing skill and would allow you to embark, disembark, build ships, customize your ship, perform repairs, hire crew, and more. Ports serve as a natural balancing mechanic for the skill too, as you wouldn't be able to simply get on or off your ship from anywhere in the world. However, there will likely be places around the world where you'd want to be able to dock your ship and disembark, even though having a port there wouldn't make thematic sense, like on an uninhabited island. For these circumstances, there would be some kind of landing site, like a mooring point situated on the island. These mooring points would allow you to move freely between your ship and land, but lacks all the creation customization features that a port has. Once you've acquired a ship and boarded it from a port, you'll be able to start sailing out on the open seas and making use of the intuitive navigation system.
And also on top of this, for anyone wondering what this might actually look like, because they do have like little graphics for this, but on top of this, the mods actually put out I think like a 3-minute long video showing like kind of what their ideas for the navigation system would look like.
Oh yeah, we will get more into it as well, but there's a 3-minute long video that I would still recommend watching.
Yeah,
That's
it's
good.
pretty cool. They show that you're actually able to, and Michelle's about to go over this. You're able to
Spoiler alert.
You're able to actually walk around on the boat, and also, but if you click outside of the boat, then the boat itself moves.
There's a little bit more to it as well, but you'll hear in a second. Yeah. So, navigation overview, point and click. When it comes to controls of the ship, there were many options we could have explored, including WASD keyboard movements or interface panels. However, based on community consultation, it became clear that point and click is the way to go, with it being the most intuitive control scheme that's a natural fit for the game, while working great across both PC and mobile. We also agreed with players who felt it was important to retain control of your character at all times, kind of like what Robert said, rather than transforming your character into a ship whenever you were on the ocean. A staple of old school gameplay is having your character interact with your surroundings in the world, and so sailing should be no different in order to feel traditional and skill-like. So after boarding your ship, you'll simply click the ship's wheel to enter navigation mode. In navigation mode, your camera will be centered on the ship rather than your character, and all left-click interactions on the ocean will result in your ship moving, not your character. At any point, you could click the ship's wheel again to exit navigation mode. The camera will recenter on your character, and you'll have full access to all your usual character interactions while being able to walk freely around your ship, even while the ship is moving. And yeah, but pretty much is all that Robert said. The only thing that's different, I was going to say, you have to click use the ship's wheel.
Oh, okay. But that being...
You can't be doing both at the same time.
I guess that was kind of like confusing or weird because there's no... Obviously, makes sense for like a larger ship, but there's no wheel on like a small dinghy, which is what, or I mean, it looks like there is in this picture, but I don't remember there being one in the video that they showed.
Yeah, so I don't remember because I read the notes a couple days ago, but I'm pretty sure the small ship you can't walk around. It's just as you level up.
No, you can, or at least the one that Madalena was on in the video. Yeah, it's very small. It's only 3 tiles across.
That's funny.
Yeah, but
I just thought you can't move much.
Yeah, you can't. You definitely cannot move much. There's like 3 stages of ships, and in the smallest one, they show that you can walk like 3, and then the bigger one, there's like 8 tiles, and then the biggest one is like an actual ship.
Yeah, it's like a house.
Yeah.
So, talking about the ship. Facilities. It won't just be the ship's wheel you can interact with. Ships will have a number of interactive facilities on them, with larger ships offering up more facility types and in higher quantities. This includes everything from cannons, cargo holds, crow's nests, or even ship's kitchens. As example, the crow's nest might let you detach your camera and view a greater distance away to help with making navigational decisions on your journey. We'll look into these facilities more as we enter the gameplay and reward discussion of skill refinement.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to mention that while it was funny because I liked the video. I thought it was really informative, the 3-minute video that they had. But it was funny because it felt like felt really awkward. The mods felt really awkward.
It sounded very last second. Like their audio didn't even sound as good quality as normal.
Yeah,
it sounded like they were like, "Oh shoot, we forgot. We need to put a video out today. Are you guys available?"
It kind of just like seemed like a little awkward. Like they were clearly reading from a script, and it was just like not. It was very robotic. It was kind of funny.
It wasn't as passionate as the video where they were telling us about the 3 possible skills.
Yeah.
That one, everyone seemed like so excited. This one, they're just like, okay.
Yeah, this
one. Which I mean, fair.
Yeah. I'm glad they had it, but I remember that was pretty funny. That's something I remember about it.
Not a bad thing, just funny. So ship types, kind of, we talked about this a little bit. So some of you might want to take to the seas on your own little sailboat, while others might wish to set sail with a whole crew of other players or NPCs on a giant galleon. So why not both? In fact, we're proposing 3 unique ship categories: small, large, and colossal. Having different types of vessels also allows for unique gameplay opportunities. Smaller vessels might be faster and better suited to shallow waters, while larger vessels might be slower but more durable to resist the elements found out on the open ocean.
And on top of that, they have a little ship info on each of the ships, one being obviously the small, large, and colossal. And
Right, so what they're called, a humble Asgardian
a
sailboat.
humble Asgardian sailboat would be small, a powerful Fremnik longship, and a magnificent Corindian galleon.
Love it.
I think the only thing, see, they even show like how many tiles they have inside of them. It's like
Yeah.
a 2x3 to a 3x4, and then 4 to 6, and then 8 to 12 for the largest.
Yeah.
As well as it shows their ability for turn radius, so you can actually turn a lot faster in the smaller boats. It would only take 2 ticks to turn 90 degrees, whereas the colossal would take 6 ticks to turn 90 degrees. But obviously, it is way bigger, including 3 separate floors, as well as the ability to go to deep seas, whereas
Ooh.
small can only go to shallow seas.
Man, I'm so excited actually.
Also, I really hope they don't keep these names, because I feel like there's 1,001 ways to name small, large, and colossal boats.
Oh, really? I like it.
Oh, I feel like you could call them like dinghies, schooners, and then like whatever, like instead of colossal, it's like,
You want other words than just ship.
well, you can name anything colossal or anything large. It's like there's like so many different,
You want more
sea-bearing
sea-themed.
things. Yeah, it's sailing. I don't want it to be,
That's totally
that's
fair.
a large boat. No, I want it to be like a thing. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's pretty cool. So they show like what they could house and stuff like that. So if you're wondering, these are general ideas for what you could expect to find on these boats.
Cool. Moving on to ship mechanics. So, while the simple point-and-click nature of ship movement will place on familiar grounds with character movement, we feel it's important for sailing to have its own unique qualities too. One popular play suggestion that we like has been incorporating an arc-shaped turning circles to make movement smoother and more ship-like. If we did this, we could let smaller ships turn quickly, while large ships would turn more slowly. There's actually a video in the blog post from Reddit just showing like how exactly this would work on the tiles, and it's kind of interesting because like everything is so square in this game, but yeah, just trying to like more slowly do the turns rather than just like sharp right, sharp left.
Yeah, so like we mentioned earlier, there is even a value on how many ticks it would take to turn 90 degrees in a boat. And yeah, I think this is something I saw even really early on as suggestions, because it would not make sense if you just clicked behind you and your boat just flipped around 180.
Yeah, right?
So
You have to do a full circle.
yeah, so I think this would be necessary. It's definitely going to be having frustrating times if you miss something because you don't know how to navigate properly.
Yeah, but if you play this game, you hate yourself. So that's what we asked for.
Oh, true. Very, very true.
Sailing speed. These days, our engine supports movement speeds in 0.5 tile increments, allowing for speeds slower than 1 and faster than 2 tiles per tick. We like to vary how fast ships travel, potentially ranging from 0.5 to 2.5 tiles per tick. A whole host of additional factors might affect your sailing speed too, such as your ship's size and weight, the wind direction, or sea currents.
Yeah, actually, in the video, one thing I remember kind of like noting in my mind is that you actually sail pretty fast in the video, at least, because
For the small one.
they have people like rolling up to the shore, so like because you can see players on the shore while you're on your boat.
Yeah, it's pretty cool actually.
And I recall them being actually a lot faster than I anticipated.
Yeah, but also this is all just an idea for now.
Yeah, and also it is a giant ocean, so I'm sure you'll feel very slow.
True.
So they continue on talking about perpetual motion. There's also the possibility to offer up a form of ship momentum. With the right kind of upgrades, your ship may no longer come to a complete stop at a selected destination, instead continuing on to the same direction until something blocks your way or you drop your anchor. This is something we'd like to discuss more during the rewards phase of skill refinement.
I love the just going AFK and coming back and you're like, where am I?
Yeah, I think
Literally lost at sea.
it's funny that this would be an upgrade.
Yeah.
I feel like this would be an annoyance.
It could be both because it could be an upgrade because it's more AFK.
Yeah, true. Like
don't
if
have to pay attention.
yeah, because then you don't have to keep clicking across the
Yeah.
whole ocean. You could just keep going.
But annoyance because, like I said, you could get literally lost at sea.
Yeah, I mean, probably not really, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
And then we have collision. So obviously, like they said, blocking your way could definitely happen. So navigating on land has your character automatically path around obstacles and scenery objects. We imagine sailing would keep things consistent, with your ship doing the same while you're out at sea. To avoid gameplay bottlenecks, multiplayer or multiple player ships should be able to share the same space, just like players do on land. The only difference being other players would likely turn into shadows as they pass through each other. That said, there's still the possibility to explore situational blocking and collision. Perhaps special PvP ocean areas could exist in which you can't pass through each other's player ships, creating a unique ship based PvP combat experience.
That's cool.
We'd love to hear more thoughts and ideas on this. Yeah, I think that makes sense because that's, like they said, exactly how it works
Yeah.
on land. So
We're also reading like the infograph, which is slightly less detailed than the full blog post, but they were saying how like they wouldn't want to look too crowded, like you could see everyone, but at the same time they don't want to hide other people and it looks like you're just alone. So they're like, we'll just add shadows if you're on top of each other.
yeah, exactly like
Which I think
Michelle
would work.
said, they do have links to stuff like that, and they have links to the video we mentioned before.
It's a huge blog.
Yeah, throughout this whole blog post, they even have things detailing like the specific ticks for how fast the ships will move, how many floors, the upgradable facilities for each type of boat. This is stuff that we didn't go over in full, but they do have all of these details on the post itself. So
Yeah, we're just doing the what you need to know.
yeah, so we're just doing the infographic, what you would see on there, because one, it's shorter, and two, if you really want to know everything, you probably have already gone over to the post.
I think it's also just more to the point too. Like the extra reasoning I told you guys was just because I thought it was interesting. It's not really necessary to know why they came to this conclusion, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my thinking.
And moving on to current map. In order to properly make sailing feel like it's part of the game world, the ocean you'll be sailing on are the very same ones you'll see in the base world map. No instances or being whisked away to or differently scaled zones. In addition, we would like to expand the improve the seas so that they're more exciting than just seeing the same blue texture everywhere.
Yay.
This is actually pretty cool because they have 3 different colors for the seas that we'll get into for just a second. So they also talk about the world scale. On some level, we just have to accept that the current game world has unusual and inconsistent scaling. For example, we have the same mountains that are no bigger than buildings and certain towns that lore-wise are miles apart, being within a few tiles of each other. Instead of undertaking the drastic and nostalgia breaking rework all of the land and sea, we'd like to concentrate on ensuring that sailing, ships themselves, feels appropriately sized and scaled, with the oceans being designed in such a way to accommodate that. So I guess that makes sense because then you would have to redo actually
Everything.
a lot of the places.
God, it would suck. Like, I feel like I'm so familiar with the map. If they changed everything, it'd be so annoying.
Yeah, especially. We also have the ocean zones. This is like what I just mentioned. They are going to
cool.
be categorizing all the oceans into 3 distinct zones. These will be heavily informed by the 3 previously mentioned ship types. Like I said, dinghies can really only go into the shallow seas.
Oh, you're just calling them dinghies now.
They
You
are
decided.
dinghies. They are
small
dinghies.
boats,
Yeah.
small ships,
And then we have the schooner type boats, which are
the large.
and those can go into the open seas. And then we have the galleon type of ships, which are, I guess, colossal. Technically, and those ones can survive the deep sea.
You know what this reminds me of? It's like at Starbucks, how they don't say small, medium, and large.
Yeah, exactly.
That's actually you with these ships.
Well, I mean, they don't make sense.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean, colossal. Like, come on.
Get out of here.
They even call it a galleon. Like, why not just call all of them galleons?
I think they just want to have shipping everyone.
Yeah, sure. Either way, we have weather conditions as well, so there's going to be some interesting stuff to traverse once you get out into the ocean. One feature of the ocean is going to be learning to navigate. It could be dealing with certain weather conditions. This could include dynamic things like wind, static things like currents that affect your speed and ability to traverse certain areas. The kind of weather you encounter would differ and increase in ferocity depending on which ocean you're in. An important thing to note is that we don't want the scale to feel cumbersome or annoying. So it's unlikely for these systems to overly present in the early game and basic sailing experiences. At the end of the day, we want your gameplay that's actually fun to engage with. It's good that they say that because this reminded me of, for anyone that's played Valheim, which hopefully is a lot of people. It's a fun game.
You said that the sailing in that game's pretty annoying, right?
The sailing in that game can be incredibly
Can't you be going for like half an hour
tedious.
and not see anything?
Oh
Or is that
yeah.
thinking of a different game?
No, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You can sail for quite some time if you're going to like the edge of the map. You can sail for easily like an hour.
Oh my god.
But the thing that's annoying about Valheim is because it is realistic in certain points, and the main point being that it is all sail operated boats, even the
Hmm.
best one. So if you want to go fast, you have to have the wind to your back, and if you don't, you go very
Oh
slow,
no.
and the wind does change directions.
So maybe too realistic.
That being said, there is a power that you can get after killing a certain boss in Valheim that gives you wind to your back for like 5 minutes straight or something
Oh,
like
that's
that.
sick.
So
Whenever you played Valheim, this is such a side note, I was like, oh yeah, seems cool, whatever. But now that I've played other like exploring games, I'm like, dang, Valheim sounds really fun.
yeah, it
Also, I
is.
want to play Subnautica again after reading all these notes.
Oh, okay.
I just like Subnautica.
And we also have ocean boundaries. So these are going to be including things like quest islands. A number of islands that are otherwise quest lock would still remain as such. With the simple answer, if you try to sail there before completing the respective quest, the locals would simply prevent you from docking at the port. This might include places like Lunar Isle and Mosley Harmless.
Nice.
Yeah, of course. The
I like that
probably
they're
the
not hiding it.
yeah, those are pretty much the two main islands that
I
I would
mean,
imagine.
the big one, Crandor.
Crandor. Yeah, so for anyone that forgot about the Green Dragon, this would be part of the mystery locations.
Elvark has a name. The
Another
Green Dragon.
no, the Green Dragon. Another issue is regarding places that are supposed to be unknown to you prior to certain points in the game, such as Crandor. One solution could be that when approaching Crandor before completing Dragon Slayer, the island might be shrouded in a dense fog, or perhaps Elvark herself might swoop down and rain fire upon you, killing you dead in the water.
Nope, forcing you to turn around. I actually love that idea. I think that'd
Yeah.
be really cool.
Yeah, that is cool. They also have the skill progression. Existing locations wouldn't be the only time we consider using different types of ocean boundaries. Some would instead be tied to sailing skill progression, requiring higher levels and ship improvements in order to advance. A reef might require a strong hull to pass through, while a dangerous sea monster might need better cannons to take down before you can proceed. So that's kind of cool. They're kind of restricting certain areas.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I think it's very cool.
And the final thing is going to be map edges. There can only be so much content in the ocean before you hit the inevitable edge of the world map. So it's flat.
Confirm.
Confirmed. Although
Flat earthers in the chat.
staring out at the vast black void isn't a new experience in old school,
Just go in the desert.
it might seem a little jarring when out at sea. So, as an alternative, we could look at implementing a form of endless ocean, populating with general scenery, potentially even putting in hazards that push you back or even deal damage to you if you stay there for too long.
I like that one more
I
than
think
the
this
endless.
is I think this is really easy. I think because they already have 3 types of ocean, just make a 4th, which is like a really scary type of ocean. And like once you get
You
there,
die there.
like a sea monster like turns you around.
Yeah. Maybe it doesn't kill you because hardcores, that would suck.
Well,
It turns you
yeah,
around.
probably not kill you, but yeah, it just
Yeah.
turns you around. I feel like that'd be really easy.
That reminds me of Subnautica. If you get to a certain point that's like off the map, I just died. You get attacked
Yeah.
by behemoths or whatever they're called.
I mean, that kind of reminds me of One Piece, the anime, because like there's certain parts of the ocean that they don't go to because there's literal sea monsters.
Yeah.
Like they're like hundreds
That's
of
their
feet
end of
tall.
the map.
Yeah, exactly.
So, summary. As a quick reminder, the following isn't a summary of the sailing skill as a whole, just the basic navigation and sea aspects. Sailing can be done either alone or with friends, starting at a port by boarding a ship and interacting with the ship's wheel to begin navigating. This will let you point and click to move your ship and traverse the oceans with ease, while still retaining full control of your character anytime you wish to step away from the wheel. There will be many different ship types to use, as well as sea regions to explore, with a wide variety of playstyles being accommodated. Your sailing progression will likely start out very simply in the early game, being on a small vessel in shallow water and mostly focusing on basic movement.
Also known as a dinghy.
I knew you were gonna. As you progress throughout the mid-game, you'll gain additional options to go sailing on
Schooner type vessels.
larger vessels with great complexity and accessing more of the ocean. Finally, you'll reach the late game sailing experience, where you can choose to embark on adventurous navigational journeys into the deepest and most dangerous waters while managing a
Galleon sized vessel.
colossal sized vessel. Ultimately, the way you approach things will be up to you.
They should have like aircraft carrier type vessels where they
Oh
just
my
have
god.
gnome gliders
Gnome
landing
I
on.
was thinking gnome gliders.
Yeah.
That would actually be really funny.
And like helicopter takeoff pads in the back.
Maybe they could have like a weird gnome island and then you can use the tree pod thing to go there and take it and you just land on this island on a ship.
Yeah, but would you're on an island on the ship?
I was just thinking, why wouldn't you just land on the ship if there's an island
Yeah,
right
I was
there?
like, well,
Maybe they're having a party on the
I
ship.
was thinking, how would your boat be there?
Anyway, that brings us to the end of our first refinement topic of navigation in the sea. We hope it's helped to paint a picture of what the first steps towards a sailing skill could look like. If you have any feedback, be sure to send it our way. Join our new skill Discord server to keep up with all the leading sailing discussions. And as one last reminder, we'll be going more into depth on core gameplay loops, rewards, and game integration future topics, so stay tuned for those. Yeah, I'm pretty happy about this. What do you think?
I think it's pretty cool. Also, they do mention that the video that we talked about was actually made in collaboration with a couple of content creators, including a Golden Gnome winner.
There was another one that was going to be made. That's the one you're talking about. There's another one, I think it might be out now, that they were doing with content creators.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
the most
check
recent
that.
one was made by just the mods.
Yeah, so check that out because those creators are pretty cool.
Yeah. And following that summary, I did want to go over a couple questions they had for an FAQ. So first question, are you going to be adding a skybox or making the ocean look more immersive?
They respond by saying a lot of players have mentioned how their feeling of immersion might be a teeny bit affected by sailing into a black void on unmoving sea. We agree. Working to improve our skybox and the oceans and possibly other bodies of water along with them is underway. These aren't tied to sailing, but would certainly make it better, and we'll talk about that more once we get to a better place to show what we mean.
Yes. I forgot that in the regular client, the sky's just black, right?
I don't know. I never look at it.
I don't remember, but I'm assuming they're talking about the skybox, so.
Yeah.
Next question. You've proven the tech is possible, but how is this a skill? It's kind of a sassy question.
Wow. Yeah. So they say sailing is by its very nature a more complex skill proposal than some of the more traditional skills currently in game. So we need to put in the work to answer the question, what is a skill? I mean, what an existential question for this game.
I agree. Anything could be a skill, truly.
Show how our vision of sailing really does fit the bill. The tech lays the foundation on which we can build a fun and intuitive skill with lots of depth. There's a ton of interesting and thematic gameplay options for us. We plan to discuss this in depth in the core gameplay section, which obviously isn't right now.
Yeah, not yet.
I think this is a kind of like a sassy, annoying question, but also I guess it is.
I could see them getting on that a lot, though.
Yeah, but it is a I guess a like a valid question because it's like
People just want to make sure it's not going to be a mini game.
people I think want to make sure that it's not just like a skill that only facilitates other skills. Because
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you go to an island and then you kill a monster, which
For
is
Slayer,
just Slayer.
attack, combat.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, and then you go out to the ocean, you do fishing, which is really just fishing.
No,
So-
I think I can imagine it being on something. I just think it'll be more about traveling,
Yeah,
which I mean, I guess that's what sailing is.
yeah, I think it'll be pretty interesting. I do hope that like it'll be like a rewarding gameplay loop that isn't like kind of you have to go out of your way annoyingly so to level up
Yeah.
that skill, but we'll see.
Will worlds lag if many people are on large boats in one area? I think that's
Uh,
actually a pretty good question.
Yeah, probably. But they say no. The engine team have spent a lot of time recently tackling world lag, and they're confident that the addition of boats won't have any noticeable impact.
I'm not sure about that.
Print this out and staple it to your wall, people, because we will see.
We will see.
I'm not taking
I'm not the most
bets.
confident.
Yeah,
I usually don't
definitely.
have lag issues, but this week I've had notable lag issues.
Yeah, I mean, even just rolling up to the GE sometimes can be a little annoying.
Could NPCs navigate your boat for you if you're not into group play?
But yeah, I don't know why they're asking that. Like,
It's
why-
because they
why-
are talking about for the large boats, you need a crew. The colossal.
I think that's just saying that you can have a group if you want to.
I think you might have to because read the answer.
It says we'd like to make it possible for NPCs to navigate boats or to be part of your crew, so that players do not want to engage in group play don't have to. Group play should be a positive player choice and not something you're forced into for training the skill. So we remain aware that locking the best training methods behind group play will not be received positively. No, exactly. I don't think there's any world where you cannot go into the deep ocean without other players assisting you. Like that.
So you just have NPCs go instead.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I'm saying you will have to have NPCs.
No, I'm saying like why I don't know how that's not assumed. Like why I don't know why it's assumed like, oh, I have to have 5 players to go into the best part of the game.
They just want to reassure all of us antisocial people. Like, don't worry.
No, I don't know why that's I mean, I guess
It's better to make sure.
very basically I understand what they mean, but like I don't know. Like that'd be like, oh, all Slayer after level 90 is you have to do duo Slayer. Like that's the kind of the same thing. Like why would you not be able to go to the deep ocean without, I mean, you could have like NPCs doing stuff for you technically, but it'd really just be you clicking on stuff like normal. I don't see anything changing.
I'm just thinking about you're like the antithesis of people saying like no question's a bad question.
The antithesis?
Antithesis.
No, I'm the antithesis.
Wait, is it antithesis? That's the stupidest word. Why would it not be antithesis?
It's
antithesis.
the antithesis.
Wait, why is it spelled that way then? Oh my
I'm worried about
God.
motion sickness. Could you clarify if the effects of the ocean will be toggleable?
Yeah, the waves and rocking boats will be toggleable. Thank God, actually. Can you imagine fishing trawler just all the time?
Yeah, that sucks.
They add a bit of immersion to the demo, but we don't want players getting seasick in real life. We can also offer other techniques to help this, such as zooming the camera out further when controlling a boat, or making the render distance much smaller when walking around in your boat.
And the last question we wanted to cover is, will you be looking to implement PvP as part of sailing?
If this is something that players wants to do, yes. One of our design pillars for any type of new skill is that should appeal to a variety of players' types. If PvP finds its way to seas, rest assured that will be an opt-in experience, so those of you not wanting to engage in marine time battle with others can choose not to. I think there's no way you could add a new skill and not have it be available in PvP, because technically you could do anything in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely think it should be opt-out. Or
opt-in.
Opt-in, rather.
Of course, yeah.
So moving along, they say staying involved in our upcoming event through refinement, and make sure to join the Discord to stay up to date if times change. But they have the current times right here.
Their little itinerary.
So this one is going to be coming up first. This is May 26th. They're going to have a Discord stages event talking about the core gameplay loop. So this is the next portion that they're going to go into.
Mm-hmm.
It means to discuss our design doc with you and get some feedback before the core gameplay blog goes live a few days later. So expect the core gameplay loop blog to be happening this month, hopefully.
That's actually very surprising.
Yeah, that's
or
good.
beginning of next month. I thought it would take a few months.
Yeah. So we have the next part, which is going to be on June 9th. This is going to be another Discord stage for the reward space. So pretty exciting there. I think a lot of people are looking forward to what they can bring from this uniquely. So, because obviously you don't want it to just be more dragon harpoons, but hopefully something actually unique.
Yes.
And then we have the other and final, well, I guess there is going to be a small like summary stage after this, but this is the final stage that they are going to have a Discord stages for. And this is on June 23rd. It's going to be the integration and lore, which I think is already pretty easy. It's probably the easiest one of all of these because sailing is, kind of already in the game.
Yeah, I agree. I think that one will be the most chill for sure.
Yeah, so make sure to hop on Discord and you can join and actually have like a semi like not 1-to-1 but 1-to-1 feel experience with
1
mods.
to 100 experience with mods.
Yeah, but it's gonna feel, I mean, because it's like just pretty much a live stream like with your friends, but if your friends were mods.
If your friends could control what happens in your video game that you spend your time playing.
Yeah.
All right, but that is going to be it for the sailing blog. They also do make sure to say, like, if you sense a certain unfinished quality by our design, you'd be right. We're still deep in the process of shaping sailing as a skill, and all of the rest of the integration is still to come. The skill isn't finished yet because we're actively collaborating with the community to refine it further. So if you're like, this doesn't even sound like they're covering everything I wanted to hear with navigation, it's because they're not.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, I think people often get caught up. That's why I was kind of like I guess like how you would say is being like sassy with some people's questions is it's like I feel like people find the smallest things to like go after,
focus on, and like really
I mean they
go
do it
off.
They do it every patch or every big
Yeah.
patch, and it's like this is so many months like before the schedule where you need to be asking these types of questions. It's like if it's bigger questions and bigger concepts, then ask those because then they'll obviously have time to smooth all those out. But it's like if you're like, oh, I need this very small detail to be ironed out now, it's like, all right, come on, let's
That's chill.
wait a month, and if it's like they don't address it at all, then you still have plenty of time to bring it up.
Yeah, exactly.
And finally, we have our own Q&A.
Yep.
Finishing up with those frequently asked questions, we have a few of our own, but these are not going to be strictly for sailing, of course. If you want to ask questions, like we said before, feel free to ask us anywhere, but especially from Discord.
Yes. Our first question is going to be from Wraith over on Discord. What game change could double the number of member subscriptions? Wraith's answer, they would have to do something truly groundbreaking. They could release OSRS in VR or finally come up with a new skill that really shakes up the game. Sailing hater. Maybe if they offered separate full access worlds that function like a private server, players could have fun dunking on bosses with God mode activated. That was one of the most fun aspects of Leagues, taking something familiar and just dialing up the absurdity. I think the private server world is really interesting.
Yeah.
I think VR would just be silly. I can't imagine walking around in this little low quality world. I don't know. Maybe HD was on.
I think that Wraith is honestly like
A hater.
no, I think they're on a really good like path of that kind of stuff because like people might get annoyed about it, but I think even any community is susceptible to what is like currently the trend in gaming, which is like leagues or season passes.
Just
and stuff like
outrageous
that.
boosted everything.
Well, I was thinking like it'd be cool if you had a game server that didn't last for just 3 months.
Maybe just have a server like that at all times.
Maybe, but like maybe they had a server like that at all times, and then it went through seasons in that server,
Oh, that could be interesting.
so
Yeah.
that like, and also you could like, I mean, for monetization reasons, they could like connect like a game pass or a season pass to this. So it's like if you got to so many total levels, then you would unlock more cosmetics, which is usually how season passes work. You'll get more and more cosmetics. It won't ever be anything that would like give power to your main account or anything like that. It would just be like, oh,
It would
you,
be its own individual account.
yeah, it'd be like, oh, you got to 2,000 total in this world, so you got like this really like decked out like graceful cape or something like that.
Nice. Yeah, I like that.
Because I mean, one, that would bring people back that haven't played in a while because one, it would be new mechanics as well as new rewards, so you'd have new and current people wanting to play for that, and I think that would get a lot of. That's what a lot of games do. You know, Diablo, one of the most popular games to have ever been made, does that. Apex Legends, the most popular FPS in the world, does that. Like, it sucks that it's League of Legends does that. Like, it sucks that like every popular game does that, but they do it because it works. People enjoy new things like that.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they should have a progression system like that, as well as like you said, like maybe it would be a leagues type thing for one season, and then the next season they'd like have it so like maybe there's bosses everywhere or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, what you said and what Ray said, honestly, both those are huge. I like asking people whenever they show up on the stream and say that they've like been gone for years. I always ask what brought them back. And I think one big one that people used to say was leagues, first of all.
Oh yeah.
But I think more raids. A lot of people came back because of TOA.
Yeah.
Yeah, who hadn't played before. So more just like fun and big things that people are like, I need to try this out. Like the small quality of life things I like because I already played this game, but nobody's gonna be like, oh my god, they made Tithe Farm soloable. Like I need to go back to RuneScape, you know?
Yeah, literally no one cares about that.
I mean, I actually do care about it, but
Yeah, even as an iron, I don't really care about that.
oh, I really care. Okay, anyway.
Well, I've already done Tithe Farm.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, I think stuff like big events, leagues, deadman modes, things like that don't necessarily have to affect the main game would be huge. And then like main game wise, just adding like more raids.
Yeah.
Even though obviously that takes a long time, I think that a lot of people did come back because of TOA.
Yeah, just like so many games do stuff like what Wraith was saying, where it's like you have these seasonal things, and like
Just like events.
even World of Warcraft does that, where it's like it's the same it's the same set of dungeons, the same raid and stuff like that, but you change it up because there's new seasons, so that means they change it up slightly, so that there's reasons to come back.
Yeah.
And new rewards, obviously, all the time. So, yeah, just stuff like that, I guess, would be interesting. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Do more.
It doesn't matter because they'll never have enough developers to do that because for some reason they don't invest in their game. But
yeah, hundreds of millions of dollars of worth in this company.
yeah, but if they
Whatever.
if they ever got around to it and did something like that, I think season type worlds would be
That'd be really cool.
good because
I think Fresh Start Worlds too brought people back.
yeah, I agree.
Hopefully they saw that success and they continue to pursue ideas like that.
I mean, I doubt it just because they had 3 extremely successful leagues and then decided to not do one this year.
I know, right?
Like, they're all like, actually, we don't want this money.
I wonder if the new skill is going to bring people in.
Yeah.
Because that is a really big thing.
I don't think to the same degree as leagues.
As like
honestly.
content.
Yeah, because it's like, all right, cool, new skill to grind. Like, only people that are saying that are maxed.
True. Okay, well, anyway, our next question is going to be from Harger on Discord. Before I ask the question, though, last week Ivor asked, would you do it all again? Talking about RuneScape. And Harger did have a response saying yes, but this time I would do quests without guides and skip inefficient leveling methods. I actually think it'd be fun to do quests without guides. So maybe same.
No.
I would do easy ones without guides.
Yeah, I was
Let's
like,
say
no,
that.
doesn't
Like
sound
DS2,
fun.
absolutely not.
Sitting through Morning's End, I'd rather just not play the game.
Anyway, so Harger's question. What are your thoughts on a new quest called Pest Out of Control? Inspired by the end of Jurassic Park 2, where an incredibly dangerous pest manages to board a ship leaving pest control, which brings it to the Void's night outpost, where it lays waste to the city. You hear about this by talking to a friend of refugees who escaped from the island, now camping in Port Sarim. You must sail to the destroyed island, kill the pest, reconstruct the city, and sail back to Port Sarim, where you will be celebrated by the refugees. It requires sailing, construction, slayer, and other combat skills. The quest is very short, but the boss is very difficult to defeat. The rewards are still XP, a royal invitation to move your POH to the Void's Night Outpost. This POH is the first POH which allows a player to park their boat in the boathouse, a room you could build with construction. Nice. I like that. Cool. I like that sailing was integrated into it too. Yeah. Actually,
I think that's a really cool idea.
I think that quest idea sounds so much fun, and that sounds like something that would definitely be in RuneScape.
I think it'd be even cooler. Well, I mean, I think that's really cool, but I think it'd be a cool additional reward so that you get more pest control points because like.
If it's a harder quest, yeah.
Yeah, because you save them. Like, not even a lot, just like 1 extra per round or whatever.
Yeah. You know, this sounds like it could even be a mini quest. Because I feel like mini quests have like, they're really short and they have like weirdly good rewards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that too.
Mm-hmm. I think that'd be fun. I like the idea of like a POH in the Void Knight's outpost. I just think that'd be really funny.
Yeah.
To just walk out and be like, what's up, guys?
I like the idea of this. I also like the idea of shorter quests because it seems like every new quest they come out with, they're like, this one's bigger, better, and 3 times longer. And it's like,
it doesn't have to be longer to be more fun.
Yeah, like I just want a quest where they're like, oh, this goofy thing happened. You killed this like
little demon guy.
Yeah, this little joke of a boss, and then you got like this pretty decent reward. Like, there's like not many quests being made like that nowadays.
It's like Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yes, stupid it is.
Anyway, our final question is going to be from Matt over on Instagram. Matt starts off by saying, I swear I'm not doing a survey for Jagex, but I kind of want to know, how much could Jagex increase the membership price for OSRS for the current state of the game, amount of updates, accounts for, etc., and you would still play? I don't remember the exact price. I think it's around $12. I did not Google it.
Yeah, I think it's 12 or 13.
Yeah, I would pay $1 more. But honestly, like, I only do, like, the yearly plans.
Yeah.
Because it's more affordable. Because it's less than $12 or whatever it is.
It is, yeah. I think normally it's, quite a bit more if you don't pay for the full price, which is kind of how everyone does it. Mm-hmm. But, 0, I guess. Like, I barely play the game as it is. So if they're like, oh, more money for less content, I'd be like, okay, well, like, we'll just play a game that gives me more content for less money.
I don't think there's any situation in which I'd quit. I would just start buying bonds only in game.
Yeah, I would just be one of those people.
Like I used to.
I would probably turn into one of those people where it's like, oh, I want to play the game. I'll buy 3 months and then turn off the recurring subscription.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't buy 3 months. You can only buy 6 because they're money grabbing. And so, I guess I would buy 1 month.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to buy 6.
True. Just get everything done that 1 month.
Which they've done to themselves. Like, I would have bought 3 like a normal human, but they're like, no, you have to buy
half
twice.
A year is quite a commitment, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a long time.
Especially if you're not familiar with the game.
It's like, oh, you haven't played in a while? Well, do you want to play for 180 days? No, I don't.
Why not?
I want to play for 30.
Matt had a second question. Would you vote yes in a poll that promises to double the amount of employees in OSRS's development team for a 25% higher membership cost per month?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think I would too, because we've talked about that so many times today about how their development team seems understaffed. And that's no fault to the development team, obviously.
Is this saying that it would double it?
No, 25%.
Double the amount of employees?
Oh, double employees, yeah. So if it's
Absolutely.
$12, that would bring the total up to 15.
If it meant doubling it every time, I would pay up to $20 a month for this game to have more employees.
Yeah. Because then, like, the stuff we were talking about, like, how they haven't done another quality of life because they're just focusing on, like, bounty hunter, like, that probably wouldn't be happening if they had double a team.
Yeah,
They could do everything.
If you had a list of things that this company said they would get to that they didn't get to, it would be so long it would run off the screen.
Yeah. So I would definitely vote yes. I think a lot of people would vote yes on that.
Yeah.
I'd like to think people would.
I think the people that are still playing the game are like, completely brainwashed fans like us. They just play the game not because it's the best game ever, but because it's what they know and stuff like that.
True.
So they would pay more.
Yeah.
Kind of like how a lot of like diehard World of Warcraft players at the end of an expansion are just the most, like sick in the head players. That's exactly how like we are. It's where it's just like the only players still playing a game as old as this really like it.
Yeah, we're very committed.
Yeah, so you could get a lot more money than you think out of them, unfortunately.
Yeah, but we're not saying like we want to give you more money, you should take advantage. Reward us with a bigger development team.
Well, no, I mean, obviously with the last question, like if you just charged more and didn't give more content, like if you're like...
Yeah, you said no, you just quit.
If you're like, oh, $1 more, and we also aren't doing leagues again next year, it's like, well, we'll just not play.
Yeah.
it's that simple.
I think both of those are really good questions. I actually really like those.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like you can get a lot more out of people by providing things to them without like making them pay for it right away.
Mm-hmm.
Like if there was... It's weird because RuneScape doesn't really have that. Like, for example, League of Legends. It's like one of the biggest games to have ever been made with like, 50 million players playing it or something like that.
Yeah.
It's free. That being said, I've paid more money and, given more money to Riot for that game than I will ever for RuneScape.
What? On what? Like skins and stuff?
Yeah, for like skins and stuff. Just because I like
Is that
playing the game.
microtransactions?
Yeah, it's microtransactions. So like RuneScape doesn't have that. Which is like, I mean, I prefer the free-to-play stuff like that, but it's just like, because if you provide good stuff, people will pay more.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it is.
So not microtransactions, but provide us with more.
Yeah, if you provided more, I'd be willing to pay more for subscriptions.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
You pay for the quality.
Yeah, that's kind of how WoW is. Like, I started playing WoW again because they provided some pretty cool stuff this time around, so I'm playing for a few months.
My weird real life comparison to this is people who are like, oh, I would never move to SoCal because it's so expensive. And I'm like, yeah, but you pay for the quality.
Yeah.
I'd rather pay more and live here than like live where I'm from in NorCal for way less.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you have access to things here that make it worth it.
Exactly. And that's how it needs to be in game.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. But yeah, so that's going to be about it for this week. Pretty good questions. I like them a lot.
Yeah, those are good.
If you also want to be included in this, like we said, real life questions, kind of similar to those, or also game related, also similar to those, feel free to hit us up on any of our social medias, which are going to be... ...
So our Twitter and TikTok are both Bunebapeosrs. Our Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch are all just Bunebape. So I stream on Twitch 5 days a week, twitch.tv/Bunebape. Come hang out with me, and we read, and you ask questions, and you just say hello, and we have so much fun. And you could also ask us questions on our Discord, which there should be a link in the description for that.
There is a link in the description on YouTube, or you can head over to Twitch where we have links as well.
Yep. And on Discord, we do movie nights twice a week. Right now, we're currently watching all the episodes of Black Mirror if you want to join us. And we do weekly bone giveaways.
Yeah, so feel free to join with that, even if you just want to come just for the giveaways.
That's totally fine.
That's totally fine as well. Or if you want to just join to find people to hang out with, that's cool as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, hopefully you join up and ask your questions if you have any. But thanks again for listening.
Thank you.
Hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you all
very soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.